Today, I'm going to share with you the science that changed absolutely everything I thought I knew about women and money. So if you've been saying affirmations about money for years and nothing's changed, if you've done all the mindset work, but your bank account still hasn't got the memo, then I need to tell you something that honestly might make you cry, but it will set you free. Your affirmations are not working because your grandmother's poverty is literally written in your DNA. So back in 2015, researchers at Mount Sinai Hospital discovered something that shattered everything we thought we knew about genetics. They studied Holocaust survivors and found that the trauma chemically altered their DNA. And not only that, these changes were passed down to their children and their grandchildren. Now, this is what we call epigenetics. So your experiences don't change your genetic code, but they change how your genes express themselves. So think of it like this. Your DNA is the piano, but epigenetics determines which keys get played. Now, here's where it gets really personal. If your grandmother lived through the Depression, war, poverty, or some kind of financial trauma, her fear chemically modified how her genes were expressed. She then passed that on to your mother, who then passed it on to you. So you're not just dealing with your own money story, you're literally carrying 3 generations of financial trauma in your cells. And women, well, we carry this quite differently than men, and here's why. First, we inherit trauma through our maternal line way more strongly. You were literally inside your grandmother's womb when you were an egg in your mother's ovaries. So think about that. Your grandmother's stress hormones touched you before you were even conceived. The second reason is that studies from the University of British Columbia found that childhood poverty changes the expression of over 1,500 genes. And these changes actually affect girls way more significantly than boys, especially in the areas of the brain related to stress response and emotional regulation. Third is historically, a woman's whole financial security depended entirely on others. So fathers, husbands, sons. So for literally thousands of years, our ancestors' survival literally depended on not having direct access to financial resources. So that survival programming, it is in your cells. That is why today about 89% of women report physical symptoms when dealing with money. It's like your body is literally rejecting wealth, not because you're broken or there's something wrong with you, but because your epigenetics are still running survival software from your grandmother's generation. So you then stand in front of the mirror saying, I am wealthy, I'm abundant, money flows to me easily. And your nervous system is literally screaming, danger, this isn't safe. Your conscious mind, where your affirmations live, only controls about 5% of your behavior. Your unconscious programming, where your epigenetics live, controls the other 95%. So it's literally like trying to install new software while the operating system is corrupted. The reality is that affirmations cannot override your cellular programming because your cells are a lot older and a lot more powerful than your thoughts. So every time you try to push positive thinking onto unhealed generational trauma, your body creates this resistance. So much so that you might end up actually manifesting the opposite of what you're trying to affirm. Like, for example, unexpected bills, financial losses, self-sabotage when it comes to money. And this is because your nervous system is literally trying to return you back to the deemed safe poverty set point that you inherited from your ancestors. Now, I had a client, Sarah, who did affirmations religiously for years. They didn't work, and she thought, I'm broken, I'm just not doing it right. Nothing changed. But when we tested her nervous system response to money, her body went straight into fight or flight at the thought of having even just 10,000 more in her savings account. Her grandmother had lost everything in the Depression, and Sarah's body had inherited the belief that having money meant losing everything. And as a result, her nervous system was literally causing her to reject any surplus of money because it was deemed unsafe in her body. But here's the breakthrough to get excited about. Epigenetics works both ways. So just as trauma can switch genes off, healing can switch them back on. So Bruce Lipton's research proved that conscious intervention can actually alter genetic expression in as little as 90 days. So you can literally rewrite your financial DNA, but, and this is crucial, not through the mind, through the body. So here's what actually works. First is nervous system regulation. And I talk a lot about that here on this channel. So your trauma lives in your nervous system, in your body. So when you regulate your nervous system first, you create safety for change. This means things like breath work, somatic practices, EFT tapping, any body-based healing, but not mind-based. The second is cellular reprogramming. So you need to speak to your cells in their language, frequency, vibration, and repetition. So this is not about what you think, it's literally about what you embody. Your cells respond to your state, not your statements. And third is consistent practice for 90 days, because it takes about 90 days to create stable epigenetic changes. Now, days 1 to 30, you're creating new neural pathways. Day 31 to 60, your cells begin to actually produce different proteins. And day 61 to 90, the new expression stabilizes. So this isn't some positive thinking. This is literal biological transformation. Now, I've guided hundreds of women through this process, and here's what happens. Maria came from 3 generations of poverty. Her grandmother had fled Spain with nothing. Her mother hoarded everything. And Maria just couldn't keep more than $3,000 in savings, ever. Now, after 90 days of cellular reprogramming, she's holding about $15,000 comfortably. Her daughter, then seeing the change in her mom, actually started her first business at just 16. Then there was Jennifer. Now, she discovered that her body literally created illness every time her income increased. And this actually matched a pattern that she had known about in her grandmother, who got very sick when she inherited a large amount of money. So we regulated her nervous system, reprogrammed the trauma, and she went from about 3K months to consistently making over and around $10,000 a month in just 60 days. So when women heal their financial epigenetics, 73% report physical symptoms around money literally disappear. 81% break through previous income ceilings. 67% report that their children's relationship with money shifts too. And 92% says it feels easier than mindset work ever did. So my love, if you are still watching, it's because your body recognizes truth. You know you've been carrying something that is not yours, and you felt it. It's like that invisible ceiling, that body resistance, that sabotage that makes no logical sense. And it's not your fault, right? It's not about working harder or thinking more positively. It's about healing at the cellular level. Now, the amazing thing is that you can be the one who gets to break the chain. You can be the one who heals the line. Your courage to face this and to heal it doesn't just change your life, which it will. It changes your daughter's life, your granddaughter's life, several generations forward. Now, the women in your lineage who struggled, who survived on crumbs, who never had their own money, they're waiting for you to heal this. Not just for you, but for all of them. So your experience around lack or limitation, it's not a personal failing. It is literally ancestral protection that has well and truly outlived its purpose. Your affirmations are not weak. They're just aimed at the wrong target. And darling, your body is not broken. It is brilliantly protecting you from the dangers that just no longer exist. So when you truly understand this, absolutely everything changes. Because when you heal at a cellular level, wealth just becomes natural. And when you reprogram your epigenetics, abundance becomes your new normal. You're not broken, you're just carrying history, and you have the power to rewrite it. Now, if you're ready to heal your financial DNA and break free from generational patterns, I'm teaching you exactly how to do that inside the collective. The description is down in the link below. But even if you never work with me, please know this. Your struggle with money isn't about money. It is about inherited trauma and it can be healed. You are the one your lineage has been waiting for. Thank you so much for watching, as always, for being part of this community. If you want to go further, make sure you check out this next video here.